Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to install Windows 10 on your Mac OS. So basically you have two ways to do this. Either you actually use a program called Boot Camp, which is a program that will help you to install Windows on a different partition than your Mac OS, meaning that every time you want to use your Windows, you will need to reboot your Mac OS. And also you won't be able to share your files between your Mac OS machine and your Windows machine. Or the second option is to use a program called VirtualBox. This is what I'm going to show you guys today. With VirtualBox, the thing that I really like is the fact that you don't need to reboot your computer when you want to use your Windows machine. And also you can share files between your Mac OS and your Windows machine. So to do this, the first thing you need to do is to first download a version of Windows 10, a copy of Windows 10, which is actually free. So you just need to go on google.com. You will need to type Windows 10 ISO, and you can even add Microsoft to this. And basically you're gonna select that second link right here. I'll put the link in the description so that you guys can click on it. So I'm gonna click on that. And then you are on the Microsoft website and you will select Windows 10, which is the version you want to use. You're gonna click confirm, and then you're gonna select your language, which is English. You're gonna click confirm, and then you're gonna click 64-byte download. I'm not gonna do it right now because I already downloaded Windows 10, which is on my desktop right now, and it will take probably like an hour or 2 hours or maybe less, depending on your internet connection. That's a pretty big file actually, so maybe it could take less than an hour if you have a really fast internet connection. And then the second thing you need to do is to download VirtualBox. So to do this, you're just gonna go back on google.com and you're just gonna type VirtualBox Mac download. And then you're gonna pick that first link right here, and you're gonna select the version that is OS X hosts. I already downloaded VirtualBox as well before, so I'm not gonna download it, and it's right here on my desktop. So once you have downloaded VirtualBox, you're just gonna double click on that DMG file, and basically it's just gonna bring you that little window, and you're just gonna double click on that PKG file and click continue. And basically from here, I already have VirtualBox installed on my Mac, but you're just gonna click continue, next, and basically it's just gonna install VirtualBox on your macOS. So once you've done that, you can find VirtualBox in your application folder right here. You can also create a shortcut to put it on your little bar right here. And you're just gonna click the VirtualBox program, and basically VirtualBox allow you to install any operating system that you want in what we call a virtual machine, which is basically a computer where you can install an operating system like Windows 10, and then you can use it. So I already have two virtual machines here, but I'm going to create one specifically for that video that I'm going to call Windows 10. By default, VirtualBox pre-select the type of operating system, which is a Windows, because I call it Windows 10. And also is select the version, because I call it Windows 10 as well, but just make sure it's Windows 10 64-byte right here. And if those options are not selected by default, just select them manually and just click continue. And then here it's going to ask you how much memory RAM you want to put on that Windows machine. My Mac has actually 16 gigs of RAM, so I could technically go up to 16 gig, but I would not recommend you guys to do this, because otherwise your Mac won't be able to run anymore. So just make sure, depending on your configuration of your Mac, just don't go over that red limit. I would recommend if you could go 4 gigs, that is fine. You can do that, depending on also how you want to use your Windows 10 machine. If you want to use it intensively, if you want to do video work, or all those kind of things that requires like a lot of RAM, you need to put higher RAM. But if it's just for basic use, we're just gonna select 4 gigs right now. Just click continue, just click create a virtual, just select that option, create a virtual hard disk now, and then just select that first option, which is the VirtualBox disk image, and then just click dynamically allocated. I select that option. I prefer that option rather than the fixed size. Basically what it does, it's for the space that your hard disk on that Windows 10 machine will take. Let's say you say, okay, I want 32 gigs of RAM on that Windows 10 machine. If you only use 10 gigs, only 10 gigs of hard disk space will be used on your macOS as opposed to 32. So it's dynamically allocated, which is much better. And then here it's going to ask you how much space you want to put on that Windows 10 machine. I'm going to select 32, but you can go a little bit less than that. Don't go below 15, 20. I would recommend a minimum of 15, 20. Otherwise your Windows 10 will have a hard time to run. Just click create, and then you have created that virtual machine. So now what you need to do, you need to install Windows on that virtual machine. So you're first going to select it and click on settings, and here it's going to open the properties of that virtual machine. So I'm not going to go into details, but basically quickly you can attach any kind of like a physical device to it, like a floppy drive or optical drive or another hard drive. We don't need the floppy drive, so I'm going to remove that. You can what else do we have here? You can actually select, if you're planning to run like AV task, like video kind of program, you can actually select the 3D acceleration and the 2D video acceleration, but for that video we won't need to do that. You can here you have your storage, so you can see actually your virtual disk right here. This is the CD-ROM of the CD DVD-ROM of your virtual machine. That's where we need to actually take action, because we need to put that Windows 10 DVD in that DVD slot. So I'm gonna select my Windows 10 that is on my desktop right here, so that I'm putting this CD in that virtual machine. And then after you have all the things, you can actually share file and folders between your macOS and your Windows machine. I'm just going to click OK. And then what we just did now, we just inserted that Windows 10 DVD into that virtual machine. So when I'm going to turn it on right now, basically what it's going to be doing is going to boot on that DVD, that Windows 10 DVD. So it's going to start the installation. I'm just going to select those options by default, English. I'm just going to click install now. And basically from there, you just need to do next all the time. So It's just gonna install some files. It's gonna ask you for to activate your Windows version, but you actually don't need to do that. So just click I don't have a product key and just pick that Windows 10 Home version right here. Just click next and just accept the license term. Click on custom, and here you see that the 32 gigs drive that we created earlier, just select it so that you will tell the computer I'm installing Windows 10 on that specific hard drive. So you click next, and then from there you're just gonna have to wait. It's just gonna install Windows 10, and once it is done, it will actually reboot the computer, and then it will ask you a few more questions to finalize the setup, and then basically from there you're gonna be able to use your Windows 10 on your Mac. Okay, so we're back here. So Windows has been installed, and now we're just gonna need to finalize the setup. So I'm just gonna use Express settings. The machine just rebooted before that, and now we're just gonna have a little more extra steps, just like some setup. So it's just gonna ask me to use my Microsoft account. If I do have one, you can just skip that step if you don't have one. And then it's also gonna ask you to put a name for that computer. You can put a password as well. I'm not gonna put one here. And then it's gonna ask you also if you want to use Cortana, which is similar to Siri for Apple devices. I'm just gonna click not now. And here you go. You're now able to use Windows 10 on your Mac OS. So basically you have your Windows 10 machine right here, and you can install software that are only compatible with Windows. You can pretty much do anything that you would do with a regular Windows because it's the same one. And then you just click, you can actually put it full screen right here, and you can actually switch between your Mac and your Windows machine. I set that up with the 4-finger, so you can actually use it at the same time, which is very great. Alright, that's pretty much it, guys. The last thing is, don't forget to go back to the settings of that virtual machine and click on storage, and don't forget to remove that DVD from the CD-ROM drive. Otherwise the machine will try to boot on Windows 10 CD every time you're starting it on, which you don't need anymore because you already installed it. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Thank you very much guys, and I'll see you soon.